Hey friends, I'm Jana of Feeling Loudly, and I'm back with another collective message today. So, this is kind of picking up on the thread from the last few days. So, if you want to go back to the collective messages playlist and watch those readings too, they might have more information for you. But this could also be a standalone message. If it resonates, great, stick with me. If it doesn't, that's okay. You can see yourself off. Okay, and if you're interested in a personal reading, you can find the link in the description. So, to start with the astro dice, we have Aries, the sun, and the first house. There's a real powerful focus on a new beginning here for you. And this new beginning feels like it's carrying the energy of independence, of excitement, of vitality with it, but it's not coming without its challenges because it feels like you are leaving something behind in order to gain that sort of return to yourself. The North Node is currently in Aries, and it will be for the next 18 months or so. The South Node is in Libra. And so a lot of us are maybe going through releases around relationships. And if not actual relationships, just sort of finding ways to integrate and potentially let go of old patterns that we've had in relationships that we're ready to kind of see off as we enter a new era. And this new era is focused on kind of our own personhood and our own creation, our own spark of genius. And so all of those themes might be especially up for you right now. And especially so if you're going through a breakup, if you're leaving a job, if you're leaving behind some sort of cushion or safety net that has once felt maybe aligned for you, but's no longer feeling like it's kind of in your path. And that does not come without its pain. And we spoke to that over the past few days. Today, it's looking like there's a lot of mental conflict, and maybe like you're again kind of coming back to this notion that you're foolish for taking a leap, for wanting to move forward, for thinking you can go it alone or do it alone. And I say that because we have to start the Five of Swords, which kind of speaks to that internal conflict. And then we have the Fool in reverse. And the Fool upright speaks to a new beginning. We're taking a leap of faith. We're kind of jumping off and expecting to be caught, expecting that our guides and our support networks will catch us. When we see the Fool in reverse, it can speak to recklessness. And this was a message, a card that came up at least twice in the past few days. If you didn't watch that, just to reiterate, there is a need to be cautious and to check in before you take any risky actions. So I'm hearing that for a lot of you, that does have to do with finances. It could have to do with family. Maybe you live with family and you're wanting to move out. Maybe you live with an ex-partner or a partner and you're wanting to end that relationship and move out. Maybe this is friends and just roommates in a living situation that's not great for you. But it does feel like for a lot of you, it is connected to finances and to a sense of home. Again, whether that's a physical home or more of like a metaphorical home, like the people that you feel at home with. And so I have a couple messages here. One is like your intuition about wanting to leave this situation behind is on point. And so if you're feeling that, know that is your voice of guidance coming through. But the second bit is that the fear and anxiety you're feeling are very real because you're facing practical blockages probably that are preventing you from just jumping into a new beginning without worrying about anything. Most likely there are money challenges here. Most likely there are practical challenges that are preventing you from maybe achieving an immediate sense of security in another place. And probably if you did have that kind of cushion to fall back on, you wouldn't have waited as long as you have to leave this situation behind. So you are coming through as the Queen of Wands here, regardless of your gender identity. Doesn't matter. The Queen of Wands is a genderless figure. They're connected to fire energy and often can be associated with Aries. And so there is like a real focus on Aries energy here, on your ability to seize that wand, to pick up that wand and move forward. But thinking about the practical considerations is obviously an important part of this conversation. So I feel compelled to, again, like reassure you that your instincts are on point, but to also caution you to not put yourself in a dangerous situation, to not put yourself in a situation that may have long-term consequences if you can avoid it. And in yesterday's video, the overall advice was to ask for help, to ask for community support from trusted friends, from trusted community connections, from local organizations, if that's applicable to you and you need some help there. All of those would be good options for you. But let's get a little bit more information about what's maybe happening and what you need to know today. So we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse, the Seven of Cups upright, the King of Pentacles, that came out sideways, and the Knight of Wands, which also kind of came out sideways. So I'm going to leave them like that. I wouldn't usually, but we'll see. So with the Two of Pentacles in reverse, it does feel like you've been in this sort of juggling act for a while where you're trying to balance your priorities. You're trying to kind of keep things straight, but you might feel overwhelmed. And that's understandable because we also have the Seven of Cups here, which can also speak to overwhelm or even distraction, or kind of like being lost in all of these different choices and not knowing which direction to go in. With the King of Pentacles coming up sideways and the Knight of Wands coming up sideways, it's feeling to me like there might be a couple important figures in this conversation, people that are kind of influencing your decisions. And so King of Pentacles is associated with Earth, technically Virgo, but this could be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. The Knight of Wands is associated with fire, technically Leo, but it could be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. And I forgot to mention the fire signs when I mentioned the Queen of Wands, but again, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius could all be relevant here. So these could be two people who you're connected with. The King of Pentacles is typically a more like solid figure, someone who has money often, someone who has a degree of stability, like physical stability, material stability. And typically it's someone who's more grounded. The Knight of Wands is a little bit of a fiery, sort of spontaneous energy, someone who might be a little younger or just a little bit less mature. With fire energy, they again can be spontaneous, impulsive, a little bit like flying by the seat of their pants kind of energy at times, and a little brash, but they can also be an exciting and sort of fun person to be around. So these may be two people that are involved in this situation for you. And again, it does feel like they're influencing the sort of confusion that you're feeling right now, the sort of confusion and maybe lack of direction that you're experiencing that's causing you to question yourself, question your decisions, question your ability to make the right choice. I just picked up my deck and I had two cards that were flipped in the opposite direction, and they were Death and the Moon. And so that feels important, that this ending is really important, that this transformation you're going through is really powerful, and it goes beyond the scope of just a breakup, a job ending, a moving out, an ending of whatever kind you're experiencing right now. It feels like it's leading you closer to your intuition. And ultimately, you will come out the other side of this situation feeling much more confident in your ability to discern intuition from anxiety and fear. The Moon card can sometimes speak to subconscious fears that are operating or animating us, whereas sort of a balanced moon is being able to tune in and really hear that voice of intuition and to interpret the symbolism of our subconscious, whether that's coming through dreams, whether that's coming through just random thoughts that might occur to us throughout the day. Either way, it feels like you're going through a transformation with your own intuition, okay? And as difficult and uncomfortable as it is to be in this sort of space of questioning and uncertainty, know that that phase will come to an end, but there's something magical and potent that you're meant to learn here. So if you can use this period of uncertainty to sort of get to know your instincts and your intuition a little bit better, if you can use it as an opportunity to find the sort of clarity that you need within about how you're feeling, to tune into your emotions and allow those to guide you and to tell you what is trustworthy, what you can count on, and maybe what you can't. That's going to be really important information that you're going to take with you into this next phase. And it feels like after you go through this sort of experience of like tightness and change and transformation, you're going to come out the other side with a renewed sense of self. And that's echoed really, really in a big way by the dice that we have here, Aries, Sun, and first house. There is a powerful new beginning ahead for you. Okay. Again, if you're interested in a personal reading, you can find the link in the description box. I'll be back next Wednesday with another collective message. And in the meantime, I have other pick a card readings and channeled messages posted here on YouTube. You can also find me on Instagram and TikTok at Feeling Loudly. I'm taking a break during Mercury retrograde, but I'll be back mid-September on those platforms. In the meantime, you can check out what I've already posted. And otherwise, I did post Mercury retrograde channeled messages for every single sign of the zodiac. So if you want to go watch those, you can find them under the Mercury retrograde predictions, I think it's called, or Taroscopes playlist on my YouTube channel. And you can watch for your sun, moon, rising, and Mercury if you want to. Okay, take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.